welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, or Mike if you prefer, and this is going to be my recap video from Heroscon2024. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help. I am still trying to grow my subscriber base, but yeah, I'm kind of like working on it, you know. But people do tend to forget, and I don't have a schedule, so if you would like to hear me or see my videos or my lives, you might want to hit that notification bell. It'll keep you in tune when I do drop videos. Alright, so let's get into it. So everybody's dropping Heroscon videos, and I got to get on the trend, you know. First and foremost, my nice lanyard that they gave us, my VIP pass, you know. So I traveled from Colorado to Charlotte, North Carolina. I was there I left Friday morning and I came back technically Tuesday morning. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. I had a red line flight. First and foremost, this is the best con I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of cons, maybe like 80 something. I mean, I've been collecting comics since like 88, I think. So, and I think the first con I went to was in 89, I think. With my dad. But so regardless, this is the best con I've been to. Now, I haven't been to San Diego, I haven't been to, like, you know, MegaCon, so I don't have like this grand all experience. But from my experience as far as a comic book fan goes, this was phenomenal. I mean, there was, you know, us YouTubers there, and performance writers, you know, a lot of writers and artists that for me, especially being on this side of the country, Texas and Colorado, they just don't make it to the Midwest or the South, or, you know, stuff like that. They kind of, some artists kind of stay to the California side or to the New York side. There was one writer that was going to be at this con that I was super huge on meeting, and I actually got to meet him. We'll get there. But overall, hands down, this con, there wasn't a lot of cosplay. There wasn't a lot of, like, you know, pop culture stuff, like, you know, movie stuff or anything like that. There was some vendors that did have some, like, off-brand comic stuff, like comic related, and it was cool, but I mean, not a lot. Most of it was comic vendors, you know, pretty much it, you know. I mean, and I want to say there were like 200 something vendors. I don't even know if I looked at every booth that was there. I definitely didn't look at every writer or artist booth that was there. Some of them were just like crazy lines. So first off, the books I took, a big one for me was I was going to get Justin Birch, a friend, you know, in the community, a good friend of me. I love Justin Birch. He's one of my favorite letterers, not only because he's in the community and he's, you know, he's just a great guy, but I do really love his lettering. And this is one of my favorite books that he's lettered. It's one of his big DC books, and I saw Justin a bunch, and I still did not get the signature. Every time I ran into him, he was ready to do the signature, and I didn't have the book, or he was kind of in a hurry, and I must have saw Justin like 16 times over the weekend, but we just kept missing each other. Another kind of a little stack, a big artist that was going to be there, of course, big Stephen King, Dark Tower fan, but Jay Lee, the artist, was going to be there, so I took a nice 5 stack of stuff that I wanted to get signed. And unfortunately, right before, I think Thursday night, he canceled. So he was not in attendance. So I took a whole bunch of books that I was just logging around for nothing, you know. So, and one other book that I didn't get signed, he was there, but this guy was crazy busy. I mean, I want to say the first day on Friday, he was there for what I saw about an hour total, and it was in spurts. It wasn't like a whole, like, you know, the whole hour he was there. He was there for like 20 minutes. He did a whole bunch of sketches and signs, and then he took off. And no, and I'm exaggerating a little bit, but from my perspective, that's what it felt like. But his line was just ridiculously long the whole con. He was super popular. But I tried to get a Daniel Warren Johnson signature. I do love the man. I love his art. It just wasn't possible, and I have met Daniel Warren Johnson before. I have a couple SIGs back home, so it wasn't like a ride or die thing. So some SIGs that I did get, the writer that I mentioned before, one of my favorite writers, I mean, I'm talking about top 3 of my favorite writers, Stephen King being number 1. This guy, he's right there between 2 and 3. It's hard for me to like put a pin on, but he keeps writing this way forever. He's gonna be right there at the number 2 spot. But This is the writer from a bunch of these series, but Vinyl was the first series that I was introduced to, and I got his signature over here. His series Plush, which was another banger, and I got his signature, yeah, right here through the blood spatter. It almost looks like it's dripping off those dude's fingers. I love that. And then he had a like kind of separate out of his plastic verse, because those two were in the plastic verse. Sadly, I did not have plastic, his first in the series. That's in my Houston collection, not with me. But Click Click Boom was another one of my favorites, but I did get Doug Wagner to sign it, and I did get Doug Dabbs to sign, and he gave me a remark. You know, I don't want to like embellish, but it was for free, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I did purchase, this dropped the week of HeroesCon, so instead of going to the comic shop, what better way to buy it from the man himself? So he just dropped the sequel to Plastic, so I got him to sign that, and he let me pick out all the variant covers. I think he had 4 variant covers there. But meeting Doug Wagner was a dream. I was so out of it, I didn't even take pictures of our interaction. So first off, Doug Wagner recognized me before I saw him. He kind of shouted at me like an aisle away from where I was, and he was like, "Evil's Comics, you better get over here." And from that point on, it was on. I had like, I want to say a 10-15 minute conversation with him. I get real weird when other people kind of come up to the artist or writer, and I don't want to be a nuisance or anything like that. And someone did kind of come up when we were talking. And there's so many things I want to ask Doug, and it's usually about his comics, you know, series, and he can't really tell too much. But I did find out that we were getting more in the vinyl verse, you know, the plastic verse. We are getting maybe a sequel to Click Click Boom, or maybe a prequel, which was pretty exciting. Doug Dabbs right currently is working on another series with Wagner, so that's really exciting. They couldn't divulge too much, but they told me I was going to get an email in a week or two divulging what was going to be out there. I'm supposed to have an original art piece from Doug Dabbs as well that I purchased, and it hasn't arrived yet, but it's on its way. So hopefully, you know, I get to show you my first original art piece, and it's from Click Click Boom. So the next person that I was big on meeting, and I've never met this person, I'm a real big fan. I have a lot of her art in general, but she's just an amazing like person in the social world as well. She's very active, she's very fan friendly, you know. But Jenny Frizen, and I went through like all my Jenny Frizens, and for some reason like I just couldn't decide on what to pick, so I kind of went straight Harley. So I got this cover right here, and there's probably nothing significant to any of these books that I got signed. I just want the artist to sign something that they did, you know. I'm not after this stuff for spec stuff, so there might be something key worthy, I don't know. I just wanted a Jenny Frizen sign, and I was going through my books and I was like, I like this one over that one, so these are the two I picked. I picked that one, and I went with this one, which is like a crime noir, and she was kind of happy about these two because everybody was kind of bringing her the same stuff. Everybody was bringing her like Scarlet Witch, her variant that she did recently, or her Berserk cover, and I was like, nah. Very last but not least, and I wish I could have, I have this whole set. My comics are so in disarray. They're all put away, but they're not exactly in order. They were at one time, but this was the only one I can find, and I'm not even a huge Poison Ivy fan. I do like Poison Ivy. She's my girl Harley, but she's not one of my like top favorite people. But just to get Chrissy Zullo to sign one of her Trick or Treat variants, and she was just an amazing person. I think I went back and forth and talked to her like 3 times. A couple times for Geek Out with Roscoe, trying to do his show Between the Lines, because she's really shy. She'll talk to you in person, but the second she hears interview or something like that, she kind of like hides away. It was real funny. She did that with me. I think she did that with Durs, and I think she did that with Roscoe as well. Look out for their channels, because I know Durs has a full-fledged interview with her. Like, he got kind of a, you know, real quick, like a one-question thing, which is amazing. Alright, so the purchases, and like I said, I only really purchased 2, and they were kind of by happenstance. I did not know that Rodney Barnes was going to be there. I am a huge horror fan and TV and movie, you know, person. Rodney Barnes has been in my life forever. I mean, Everybody Hates Chris, I'm drawing a blank, but in comics, you know, Philadelphia, and he's got other big series as well. So getting to meet Rodney Barnes, and I was real nervous around him, but I mean, because he is a very tall and big individual. Oh, Boondock Saints, that's what else he did. Boondock Saints, man, Rodney Barnes. But his book Philadelphia is fantastic. I'm missing like 2 issues, and this was one of them, and getting a con variant and a black and white, and it's hard to see, but he actually signed over here. The only thing I can say about this, all his signatures were like pre-signed, which is, it's kind of a turn off, you know. I want you to see, you know, I don't know. But getting to meet the man, the legend, was kind of a dope moment for me. And he was right next to Simon Bisley, and I left all my Simon Bisley stuff here, and I only could take like 10 books. I mean, to fit in my bag without having to pay more for luggage. I was trying to do this as, you know, on a level as I could. Actually coming back, I had these 3 extra books that I didn't know where to put. I kind of had to like Jimmy rig them in my bag, but everything made it safe. So the last purchase I did, and I met this fantastic individual. He was new for me, but Naaman, the comic bookworm, had introduced me while we were there. Matthew Atkins, and I think his YouTuber name and his IG handle is Siren. But he is the author and the writer and the artist to a book called Beeswax, and this is sold in stores everywhere, like most comic shops have it. And it's an indie that's getting real popular that I had not heard of, but everybody else in the community had. But I was kind of on a break. But after meeting this individual and stuff and talking to him, I hung out with Matt a lot. He was so cool. Like directly after I left, I was like, man, I had to like write him and tell him like how cool it was hanging out with him and meeting him and stuff. He was just an instant friend kind of thing. So I went ahead and picked up Beeswax #1, and not only that, he signed it for me. He remarked it for me over here, and then he kind of like remarked some other stuff, some, you know, some bees and stuff over here. And I ended up buying issue #2 of Beeswax, and he kind of did the same thing. He signed it up here. He did the remark over here, and he kind of like threw this little "let's buzz," you know, thing over there. So one thing I told him that I was kind of like really interested as I was listening to this book, and I made sure to tell him that these will get reviewed. So if you're interested in what Beeswax is, you know, maybe you hadn't heard about it like me, I'm actually going to review these in the next couple days. And speaking of that, if you do know me, I will be reviewing Plastic. That is going to come. I reviewed everything that Doug Wagner has done, so this will be coming, you know, pretty quick in this week. So that's all the comics and stuff like that. Most of my money was saved for food and like luxury stuff when I was there. I didn't really save any money for the con. Like I said, my whole kind of thing was to go and meet everybody, and I want to say over the weekend I met about 50-ish people. It's not like I counted. I was really bad. Like, okay, the first day I got there, I pretty much like hit the con floor. I made it to the C3 booth. I met Rob and Mark and DJ, because they were kind of all, you know, working the booth. But and Durs was actually the first person I saw. Durs and Justin Birch. Justin Birch actually saw me from behind. I don't know how he spotted me. But I met them two outside the con, and then we went in. As soon as I hit the C3 booth, met all of them, I took off, and it was a hunt to find as many, like, you know, YouTubers or IG friends I could. And I want to say the first day I might have tracked down like 40-something people, and as the con was going, I kept hearing different people were there. I missed a lot of people. I did see Nerdy Girl for a second. I kept asking if she was there. Because it kind of looked like her, kind of didn't. You know, people look a little different in person. It ended up, it was her, and just not a lot of people knew that she was coming and stuff, so I didn't get a chance to meet her. There was a lot of people I ran into a lot. I ran into Jigs a lot, like 18 times, and I think at first he didn't know who I was, which is cool. You know, I'm not the greatest of friends with Jigs, but I don't really know him that much. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that I don't have the greatest rapport with, or, you know, the interactions with yet, you know. Kind of like Matt, you know, Siren. I didn't meet him until the con. So I'm going to show you a lot of the free swag I was able to pick up. I already showed you the VIP pass, but on my lanyard The CGC does these things where they give out the pins. I went all 3 days, and Saturday and Sunday they were all sold out. On Friday I did get a winning pin, which is a .5. I think it was like .5 and like 9 9s and 10s were the only winners. It was like the lowest or the two top. And what you got with the lowest win, which for me the pin is really cool. It's a really nice pin. You know, I went straight on my lanyard. I wore it with pride. You know, and that's the kind of reader I am, anyways. You know, but it did come with a package, and it came with like a CGC sticker package. It came with this, and that was basically it. But I was happy with the pin. But it's cool to get some stickers too. They're all going on the boxes, you know what I'm saying? So some of the other swag, I picked up a magnet from Comics Curing Cancer. They did have a bunch of like art books and ratios and all kind of stuff. I wish I could have picked up one to help out the cause, but I kind of did that during C3, and I plan to again, you know. But next year I will plan to, you know, if I would have known they were going to have the booth a lot, you know, before, I might have, no, I would have saved money to get at least the art book, especially after seeing a lot of people's art pieces in the art book. So I met up with Brian LCS, which is one of my oldest friends on YouTube, and I got this, like, it's like a coaster, a bookmark, and his new stickers for the CBCA Awards, which is fantastic. I've been a member of the CBCA Awards ever since it started. I met up with Will from Couple Comics, and he gave me this dope-ass keychain, which I was warned that it's a little fragile, so it's more like a keepsake, so I plan to do that. You know, I would wear it as a keychain. I love keychains, but I don't want it to break, you know, kind of thing. I love Cuppy. Cuppy was one of the like most exciting. Oh my God! Everybody got big bear hugs from me too, and if I didn't give them out, they gave them to me, kind of thing. Everybody was so, you know, it's just like we are on YouTube, and our interactions with those people, it emulated in person. So it was really cool meeting these people. There was no shyness. There was no like, hey, my name's Evil, you know, and everybody knew each other. I got a Roscoe sticker, and I actually found this outside of the con on Friday. It was the coolest thing because I knew Roscoe was there, and I was like, yoink, I need a Roscoe sticker. I don't have a Roscoe sticker. And Roscoe's another one of my oldest friends. So speaking of Roscoe, Roscoe knew I was going to be there, so he brought me some original art. He had actually drawn this year, and this is the Xeno Evil, you know, me in the mouth of the Xenomorph. I love Xenos. I'm a huge Xenomorph fan. And he does these mashups, and this was my mashup, and I love it. It's fantastic. The pencil work in there is phenomenal, like the teeth work, and I mean, even my appearance, man. It looks like me. Okay, so I got another piece of Roscoe art, and this actually comes from 2021, when me and Roscoe first started, you know, hanging out and stuff, back on Spine Ticks. Shout out to Spine Ticks. And this is a meme of me like kicking somebody off our stream. You know, it was one of the few times I've ever gotten pissed off on a live stream. Alright, so I met up with Digger Jim, and I actually got a sticker from him, which I needed a Digger Jim sticker. But he also gave me something that I think is phenomenal. But he gave me this wheat penny. And it actually says on the wheat penny, it says 1935 D wheat penny, found 4/14 2024. So he actually, like, you know, puts on there what kind of penny it is, and then when he dug it up, you know, kind of thing, which I love. I do like watching Digger Jim with the metal detector and finest in it. It's interesting, you know. So I met up with one of my oldest friends and one of the biggest names in YouTube, but Hoarder's Hide, and he ended up giving me one of his like merchandise, which this is on another level, people, but it's like a collector's coin, and it's like, I mean, the whole thing is like fully detailed and shit, and it tells you exactly what the boy likes, you know, what you can find on his channel. It says like Looney Tunes, Jonah Hex, Dell, Disney, Spectre, original art. It says, what's in your hide? This is fantastic. Getting this from Scott, and I got to hang out with Scott a lot. And just like on YouTube, he is such a dope dude. All these people were. There was a lot of connections, that a lot of people that I hung out with that I didn't think I'd ever hang out with, like Southern Comic Geek. I've known Southern Comic Geek forever. Jason, he's an awesome guy. He's in a lot of the same chats I am. But did I ever think I was gonna like be eating a big ass pizza with this dude, or going to this fancy ass art up? Man, I spent a lot of time with Jason, and I tell you what, Jason was one of the coolest people at the con. I met up with Durs a lot. Durs, behind the scenes, Durs did help me out with kind of a big hang up that was, we had an issue at the con kind of thing, and Durs ended up helping me out a bunch. I can't say thank you enough to him and Taylor, his girl. So I did get his new logo on 2 different stickers, which was dope. And he just did the new logo like a week before Heroscon. Another person that was fantastic to meet was still only 35 cents. And now I'm drawing a blank at his real name. I want to say it's Dave. Came all the way from Australia. Not just him, but Czars. And I got to spend a lot of time with Czars and Dave. Dave, man, he was just fantastic. Just an interesting man, full of energy, you know, but very modest and kind, and I mean everybody was, you know. So he ended up giving me like 2 of his different logos, and both stickers are fantastic. I mean, all these people were just gems to meet, and some of these people, you know, I got to meet their wives and some of their extended family and stuff, like DJ Lynx, for instance. I got to meet Mrs. Lynx. I got to meet her sister. Nick's Kicks and Comics brought his wife. You know, Digger Jim brought his wife. Bub's Comics brought his wife, and Bub's Comics, shout out to Bub's Comics' wife. She was a phenomenal person. Digger Jim's wife was a phenomenal person, you know. There were some surprises where you didn't expect surprises, kind of thing. Last but not least, but I got a couple more gifts from like CGC. They had like free swag that was there, so I picked up another, like it was a different one that wasn't on that like sticker sheet, and I kind of like this one better. And then they gave us this, and this was the only thing out of my whole trip that got messed up. For some reason, it like, and I swear it was packed in there good, but for some, it's just a sticker, nothing biggie, but I thought it was a cool little sticker, you know. I can see some people trying to, like, you know, fake some people out with this, you know what I'm saying? So CGC better be careful. No, but that is my everything I picked up from Heroscon, all the free swag and I did get the lanyard. They gave us the lanyard with the VIP thing. They gave us a shirt. They gave us a bag that matches the shirt, like a little, you know, one of those little tote disposable things. And they gave us an art print. The art print I gave to Durs because it was just so big. I mean, it was like this wide and like that tall, and I couldn't fit it in my bag to get back home. Even Trev, my boy Trev, he was like, how am I going to get back? I was like, I don't know, it's on you, man. I get mine away. But definitely the highlight of my journey was getting to meet everybody and how open everybody was, and you know, I mean, the biggest dilemma was what was I going to do outside of the con, and it wasn't like you know, a decision thing. It was more like, well, do I go chill with Naman? Do I go chill with Pocan Joe? Do I, you know, because everybody was like, well, I'm going to go this way, I'm going to go this way, and it was like, well, who I go chill with, you know? So on Fridays, I did, you know, some of these people. On Saturday, I did some of these people. On Sundays, I did some of these people. But I just couldn't, you know, chill with everybody kind of thing. I can say on Friday night, we went to a big dinner. Saturday night we went to the huge art auction that was fantastic. The art auction was definitely the highlight of the whole event. It was just nuts on so many different levels. Not only seeing all the art on display, but having a lot of the artists and writers in the crowd. Like at one point, Doug Wagner was sitting next to me chilling. You know, we had Scotty Young, you know, chilling right next to DJ Lynx with his wife. It was phenomenal, especially if you're into comics. And any of this sounds anything, I mean, the trip was not that expensive, you know, and I did it in pieces. I bought like the ticket at one time, we did the hotel at one time, I did the plane ticket at one time, so it wasn't like I had to afford all this, you know, in one stretch or whatever. It was planned out, you know, it was something that I wanted to do the previous year, and we just heard about it late, so I plan to do it this year. Now, after attending Heroscon, I was actually going to go to Maine next year to do a Stephen King kind of tour thing, and now I'm kind of on up and up on whether I might go back next year to Heroscon because it was such an amazing thing. I don't see how it can get any better, but I don't see how it can get any worse, kind of thing. No, but that's pretty much all I got. I mean, I got a ton more stories and stuff that I plan to say for me and Trev's live experience. You know, that'll be this Sunday on Trev's, you know, our little hangout that we do on Sunday nights. So if you want to hear some more of the stories that I got, and I got a lot of stories. Some stories about actual Dracula, some stories about Naman, Yeah, I got a lot of stories, but guys, that's my recap from HeroesCon 2024 in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was fantastic. It was so worth it. I can't recommend it enough. If you're on the fence, just watch a bunch of these guys' recap videos. I promise you, you know, that FOMO is gonna kick in. Just being able to meet everybody up close, give hugs, shake hands, give dabs, you know what I'm saying? That was phenomenal. Something I can't forget. I took a picture with Roscoe that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. It was in the moment, you know, it was just amazing. But guys, I can't thank y'all enough. Please comment down below, you know, what were your favorite moments at HeroesCon? You know, if you haven't gone to HeroesCon, what are some exciting things that you're looking forward to if you're going to go? You know, let me know down below. Let's talk about it. You know, I love talking. But guys, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. I will see y'all later. Bah!